Is Vegeta going to be the next fighter eliminated on the Universe 7 team? What is going on, Dragon Ball fans? Welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super discussion video where I'm joined here by my good friend, the legend himself, all the way from planet Mars, my good buddy EmoshIsLive, as we're going to be discussing the elimination order for the Tournament of Power in pertains to Universe number 7. Now, Emosh, I do want to welcome you back onto the channel, and this has been a really hot topic ever since Saturday, because people have been weighing in their opinions, making videos, protesting outside, doing whatever it is they had to do to voice their opinions on this. And you just recently did your own video on what you think on the elimination order. Now, what I wanted to ask you here today is, what is the likelihood of us seeing, and I hate to say this, but us seeing Vegeta be the next one to be eliminated in the Tournament of Power? Now, here's the thing, guys. I'm not confirming anything. I'm only talking about what was said about in the community about this whole ideology or this whole philosophy going around about the ending of Dragon Ball Super, how it portrays, you know, Krillin and Tien, and the next person following that is Vegeta, and people making the assumption that maybe Vegeta's next. So don't hang me by my nuts for this. But what I wanted to ask you, Emosh, is, do you think, in your opinion, that the ending theme for Dragon Ball Super foreshadowed Vegeta being the next one gone? And if so, let's say people are right and Vegeta is the next one to be eliminated. How do you feel about that, and how much would that impact the arc going forward?
It's difficult to say if I believe it, because it's based on what we've seen for Vegeta so far. Don't get me wrong, he has his knockouts, he's doing his thing. You know, he's somebody, he's relevant, right? But it doesn't live up to Vegeta standards. You see what I'm saying? So that's exactly, that's the issue. So it's because of what we've seen so far that it's really difficult to believe that, you know what, Vegeta will be the next to get eliminated. And if so, then he needs to go out in a big bang, like Majin, versus Majin Vegeta style. That's what he needs to do. Like, I'm not saying kill himself, but what I am saying, like, you know,
have a defining moment, right?
Have a defining moment. Yeah. And not some TN status where, you know, he went down. You know, he went down. He took the guy down with him. No, it has to be in Vegeta fashion. Whatever that is, honestly, especially for this setting, I don't know. But to answer the question as to whether or not I believe it, a big part of me,
it's hard to say, man.
Hoping,
it'll be really unexpected, because I'm sure people expect Vegeta to be one of the last ones, but Toriyama, he twists things sometimes. So what do you think?
Yeah, I see. The reason I don't believe it is because that's the side of me that's worried. You see what I'm saying? Like, as a fan, I'm worried that this is the case. It is 2 out of 10 so far. Ironically enough, you know, they cleverly ordered it in a fashion where the, you know, arguably the two, I don't want to say weakest, because Roshi in terms of strength is the weakest, but he's not the least inexperienced in terms of, you know, what our team has to offer, what Universe 7 has to offer.
Yes.
So they did get rid of Krillin. He let his guard down like an idiot. Okay, so that's that. Tien let his guard down like an idiot. That's that. Roshi doesn't let his guard down. So at the end of the day, when we talk about it, we can say, well, Roshi never let his guard down. In fact, every time he soloed somebody from the Universe 4 team, he would turn behind him and say, okay, do I have to fight you next? And that's when the Talisman lady came out. Yeah. He knew they were there already. You see what I'm saying? This is what separates Roshi from everybody else. And I'm kind of happy for him. Don't get me wrong. I like the idea of making weaker characters feel relevant. But it's like the whole situation with Tien, I feel like it was really forced down our throats. I really felt like, you know, it's like the dude was pointing his lasers towards the floor. And then you're having a conversation with your enemy when you're just conveniently at the edge of the ring and decide to say, you have my praise, you fought valiantly.
I commend you,
I commend you, Kikoho, and then you just get wrecked. Like, you see what I'm saying? So that's the issue. I don't agree with the format. At the end of the day, it is what it is. So to ultimately answer the question whether or not I believe it's true, I hope not. If that's any kind of a great answer, man, I really hope not. I think it's a really shitty way to just tell us who's gonna get eliminated, because now it's like, well, now we know Goku and Jiren are gonna fight in October. Now we know Goku's gonna get a new form. Now we know potentially, based on the outro, okay, we know who's gonna get eliminated. Now we know Gohan's gonna be the last one standing with Goku. We know too much. It gives way too much away. You see what I'm saying? So I think it's best if they don't handle it that way. I feel like a big piece of me does feel like, well, perhaps they're just messing with us. It's just a coincidence, because they always say that. They always say, oh, it's just a coincidence. Like, for example, the English translation for Tournament of Power, or abbreviation, happens to be TOP, and the Tournament of Power arena is shaped like a top. but they confirmed or they talked about, I forgot where I read it, but they talked about how that's just a convenience in terms of like the English translation. But in Japanese, it means something different. It's abbreviated differently. So maybe it's just one of those coincidences, but I don't know, man. It is what it is. I don't know. You guys let us know what you guys think about that in the comment section. I know I'm gonna have my pitchfork ready, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter.
Yo, that'll be something. I mean, even if that's being said, because Toshio on Twitter, hinted that there is gonna be something brewing with Hit and Vegeta, and that'll suck if Hit's the one that rings him out again. It's like he knocked him out in the Champa arc, and he throws him out in this tournament. It's like, oh, it's what a way to piss. I mean, you can't really get pissed if that's the case.
No,
it's like,
you could. No, you could. You had a hard time with Dispo, and then you solo Vegeta.
The issue would be Vegeta didn't have his defining moment in really unleashing his true power, because you already know the manga variation is going to be very different. In case you guys have not seen my manga chapter review, the manga thus far is different, so you already know the tournament is going to be different in the manga. However, in the anime, the reason why I don't think Vegeta is going to be next is because there's more for him to give in this tournament than anybody else, aside from Goku and Gohan and Frieza. I think between 17, 18, and Piccolo, I think Vegeta has more to offer, obviously. And I think going up against the heavy hitters like Jiren and Toppo and even Dispo's he's not complete fodder, but when it comes to speed, he is very formidable. So it's like, how would Vegeta handle that kind of a speed? So that would be interesting to see. I think the next person is probably going to be 18 or maybe even Roshi, because I don't see those characters lasting very long. However, from a storytelling perspective, you need to be unpredictable. You can't have, oh, check us out, we have Vegeta, Frieza, Gohan, and Goku, the last ones, yippee-ki-yay. You can't do that because it becomes predictable. So by throwing the process of elimination order at a loop, and you have Krillin go, then Tien, then possibly Frieza, and then Roshi, and then Piccolo, and then Gohan, like something different, like throwing, because how many of us thought Goku was gonna go out when he fought in the Champa arc against Frost, even though it was deliberate and it was cheating, that it was a very clever way to bring him back in. But who thought? How many of us thought, like, oh my god, like, what? He got ringed out, even though it was on a technicality because of Frost is cheating. How many of us actually thought, like, whoa, he's out?
Well, I think the scenario is completely different. Like, for example, I get what you're saying, like the whole Universe 6 and 7 turn, but it wasn't the same things that are on the line. For example, I mean, well, actually, no, you could, that's a good point, because they would have traded Earths. Right, they had to trade their Earth, right?
That's a very significant,
But at the same time, it's like Goku's never really won a tournament. Like, so it's kind of like, okay, well, we've seen this before, okay, But this tournament, we've never seen this format before. This is insane. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's interesting because it kind of brings me, it reminds me of the Revival of F arc, right? We had Tracksuit Gohan, we had Piccolo, we had Master Roshi soloing, and again, I'm not trying to compare Frieza's army to the fighters in the tournament. Obviously, they were complete ass and complete fodder, right? I'm saying the way they're depicting how strong these guys are, how much stamina these guys are completely different from what they're showcasing now. For example, Hit took a barrage of attacks from a Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 10 Goku, but couldn't take a couple of hits from Dispo. And then we have the same Dispo kicking Super Saiyan God Goku, and Goku's just like, all right, what the fuck is this? Can we, you're fast, but okay, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, Hit's getting thrashed, and it's just like, come on. If Hit is fast, okay, but I don't think his strength is equivalent to what Goku was showcasing in the U6 and 7 tournament. You know what I'm saying? That's where I say it's not so much even about power scaling, it's not so much about even a story. It's just a matter of inconsistency, because, for example, DBS has different writers writing the episodes every now and then. Toshio will handle certain episodes, then other characters will handle certain episodes, and for example, Toshio, he confirmed he loves 17, right? So he will make 17 look a certain way. Another writer who might handle an episode with 17 in it might not make him look the same way Toshio did. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden it makes us scratch our heads like, well, what's going on here? For example, like Tien. Right. What's going on with Tien? We saw him get one-shotted by Roshi. He got thrashed by Gohan. He's just useless. So I get what you're saying, though, but I just feel like, Goku's case, I think he's like the only one who could let his guard down and not suffer any repercussions for it. And it's getting a little old. Like, Universe 7 as a whole has this issue about letting their guard down. So I don't know. It's if Vegeta goes first, and he's one of the dudes who technically don't really let his guard down, but I don't know, man.
And he's ruthless as a fighter too. But in your opinion, who do you think is going to be number 3? Because for me, I think after seeing what we saw with Frost, it might be Roshi. That's just my prediction. I can't see him lasting very long in this, especially using the Mafuba again. Dude, you're asking to die. So I think it's gonna be Roshi. But who do you think?
If it's not Roshi, I could see maybe 18. Yeah, I could see maybe 18. If it's not Roshi, 18 for sure. I would say for sure.
Because I can't see 17 going yet. I think Piccolo's gonna fight the Namekians. Gohan still has a prominent role. Goku, obviously. But Vegeta's a tricky one because it's like thus far he hasn't. Goku's had his eye out for Jiren. Piccolo and Gohan have been sticking together. 17's been doing his own thing, and 18 has been roaming around.
I could see 17 fighting the Piccolo version of the Universe 6.
I could see 17 fighting Dispo to see how.
Well, that too.
Speed versus
but just to give us. Yeah, just to give us like a flashback of the 17 versus Piccolo fight in the Cell arc.
Yeah.
I could see him fighting one of the Namekians from Universe 6. The one who looks like Piccolo. Yeah. That would be pretty cool to see as well. Yeah. But a lot of people are talking about 17 versus 2. That would be cool.
See, but the thing is, I just don't think that the process order is correct. And again, if you guys believe that it is Vegeta, let me know. And if it just so happens to be Vegeta, how would you guys react? Let me know down below, because Emosh said he has his pitchforks ready. I have my flamethrower on deck because I want to see Vegeta fight other characters. I want to see Vegeta have a moment to where...
You're right. We need a Vegeta episode. We haven't gotten it yet.
Yeah, we haven't gotten that. And we're finally getting a Frost episode. I mean, that's pretty cool because he hasn't done it. He's been Houdini the entire time. I'm pretty sure we're going to get a Frieza episode too. And at some point, maybe a Toppo episode and possibly Vegeta before we get into the top spots, which is going to be Goku, Jiren, and the other surprises to come, especially with the back-to-back episodes. And I think that the order has to be Roshi next, and if it is Roshi, then that means that this entire list that the fandom has created is going to be BS, which I'm going to be happy for, because I don't want to see Vegeta get wrung out. But going into the finale of this, I guess you could say, or I just at a midpoint to where we're entering October with the fight with Jiren and stuff, having to look at Jiren's character, would you say that, in your opinion, Jiren's going to be the one, or at least one of the ones that are going to be responsible for getting the most eliminations on both Universe 6's side and 7's? Because he hasn't rung out anybody, and maybe he's going to ring out Majikayo, but do you see him stepping in and really taking care of business, like bringing out the people that aren't supposed to be there, saving the top spots for like the big dogs, or do you see him just doing his own thing until someone approaches him?
It depends how the fans are reacting and how the writers are reacting to the fans. For example, if they haven't really wrote that out yet, like that whole scenario, then they got to see, well, what are the fans saying about this so far? Well, some fans might be content with the very little that we've seen of Jiren and might think, oh my God, Jiren's the guy. But then you have other fans who are like, well, they marketed Jiren and then we're not seeing him. We're not seeing anything. Yeah, he one-shotted Kale, okay, fine, but what has he done after that? Okay, he one-shotted Majikayo, but who the hell is Majikayo compared to Jiren? And you know what I'm saying? So now it's like, okay, well, should we market him better? Okay, so let's give people a little more sneak peeks. Let him just go on a one-shotting spree, knock out a couple people, maybe solo 3 people by himself and just simultaneously knock everybody out and just make him look badass. You know, stuff like that is what you have to do to kind of make people remember this character. Like, okay, we're going towards October. Let's get people excited, but not so much so that we give away what Jiren can do entirely. So I think that's how I personally I'm on the side of saying, well, I need to see more from Jiren. I'm really not on the bandwagon anymore of just hyping Jiren up at this point, because it's just like, well, I mean, to be honest, you know, he hasn't really done much. Toppo is another guy who hasn't done much. They're talking about conserving stamina, but what have they done? Unless they did something off screen, but then again, they would have showcased that. So it's like, you know, not much time has passed, I guess, because we're looking at it like an episode is 22 minutes, right? Yeah. But real time in the actual what's happening in the Tournament of Power, a minute. Even, So that's why it's like, well, how much can Jiren do in a minute? So that's the issue there. I think when we look at 22 minutes in real time world, and then we look at Dragon Ball Super being a minute or two passing by, it starts to make sense. Like, oh, okay, well, that's why Jiren hasn't done anything yet. Give it like another 5 minutes or so, and he'll start one-shotting everybody. You see what I'm saying? So. But I need to see more from Jiren, to be honest. Right. Not because I doubt him. Obviously, I know he's that guy. It's just, well,
he's gonna be the guy to ring out Vegeta third.
For me to appreciate what you're marketing, it's like you gotta kind of remember, you know, remind everybody like, yo, keep an eye on this guy. The Omni King himself said, hey, keep an eye on that guy. And you know, it's like we gotta see a little bit more. That's all I'm asking for. I'm not being critical about it. It's just I think the fans themselves would like to see what Jiren can do, even if he's suppressed or just holding back, whatever. But you know,
whatever, yeah, whatever we can do out of him, I guess that would work, because
Yeah.
he hasn't done anything. So I think that they ought to give us that satisfaction in seeing what he can do. Me and you agree that we don't think it is Vegeta, but let us know what you guys think down in the comment section below if you guys believe it is Vegeta, and if so, what are your overall thoughts on that? If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, guys. Turn on notifications. If you guys are also new to EmoshIs channel, go on ahead, head on over there, guys, and punch that subscribe button as well. He does lots of awesome things, including brand new animes as well, My Hero Academia, Boruto, all sorts of stuff. So make sure you guys keep an eye out over there. Thank you all for watching so much. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, and we'll be seeing you all down in the comment section below. Have a great day, everybody. Peace.